What's up guys, my name's Rob and I'm going to be doing a live Emblem tutorial here because well, I thought it would be a bit different and probably I could work through and show you an emblem a little bit better. So I've got an idea for an emblem I want to make, and it's going to be Grey Fox from Metal Gear Solid. I thought this would be a cool one, and I've tampered around, I've got a few ideas, but because I don't know what it's going to come out like, I thought I'd show you the process of going through, and you can follow it a bit more easier. So let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a white background, just so it's a bit more clearer for me to put things onto. And now I'm going to start to make the head, and to get the head, you know, if you think about the head shape, it's not exactly a perfect sort of circle. So I'm going to make that sort of light grey, and then I'm going to use the freeform just to sort of fill it out so it's a bit more sort of angular, or maybe not angular, but you know what I mean. And I'm going to be using a circle in a second to make the top of the head more circular. Yeah, I thought this would be a good idea just so you guys can follow, and you know, I can show you some techniques I use for which I'll be using in other videos as well, so it'll be a bit more easier for you guys to follow like the other ones because you know what I'm doing. So here I'm using the freeform. I'm trying to match it up, so like you want to follow both those lines, and you don't want it to make it look like he's got a massive like bulbous head on the top. And looks like I've got to bring this all down just a little bit and make it a bit more of a circle there. Maybe if I freeform this and open it out a little bit, maybe that'll be a bit better. Yeah, okay, alright, I'm quite happy with that. So that's going to be the shape of Grey Fox's head, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy both these layers, so I'll have there and there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make both of these layers the darkest grey. And the reason for this is I just want to pull them out to the side a little bit to make a sort of drop shadow. And you know, that sort of adds a little bit more depth, and we'll be doing something like that, make it a little bit bigger, so just so that bottom side gets a bit more shadow round to it. And make sure that doesn't poke out the sides there. And wait, make sure that lines up. Alright, shrink it down a little bit, don't size it up too much. Okay, cool. So yeah, that looks alright, and that's going to be the basic shape of Grey Fox's mask. So to put everything into perspective now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the eye, like the central eye for Grey Fox's helmet. And if I change that to a red, so I'm using this dark red, and yeah, I'll put it roughly where I think the centre should be, maybe there. I get the impression that he's looking slightly to the side in this one, so I'm going to put it there. Yeah, that looks right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of that, and on the bottom layer I'm going to turn it to that darkest grey, and I'm going to just shift it up slightly and maybe enlarge it a little bit, and that way it will look like it's slightly indented into the helmet. So it's got that sort of drop shadow up the top there. Because if you imagine that our light source is coming from the top left, that's what we're going to use as a basis for everything. And that's alright, I'm going to copy that red layer again and turn it black, and then shrink it down and move it slightly across so it actually is looking in the direction where everything is. And yeah, alright, that's looking alright so far, I think. Remember, we're going to be taking away this white background at the end, but it's just so, you know, you can see the shadow and everything is a bit more predominant as I'm making it. So the next thing I want to make is the two sort of eye gap things, and I like this sort of shape for it, and I'm going to run with this one. I'm going to merge it a little bit because they need to be a lot thinner. So you want to sort of find the place where it would be, and I like it being really thin like that. and maybe up there, maybe a bit more of an angle as well, the more of the angle connotes more of a sort of aggressive sort of look. So that might be something like there. And then if you just copy paste, shift it over to this side, and you want to shrink it down a little bit because of the way he's looking over to the side. You want it to sort of match up. So freeform it a bit so it's a bit wider, just a little bit shorter, and that should be alright. Maybe it needs to be a bit closer as well. And yeah, I might come back and move some of this if I change my mind later on. Right, so I'm going to flip this over and undo it and sort of bring it down here. Then I'm going to add some little line here as well, just to bring it into the central thing. Because if you remember the mask from the game, this is actually an opening. Like, that's where the eye sits, and there's actually this opening that goes down, which we're going to be filling out in a second. Oh, okay, that's all looking good. So now we want to do like this line, and because everything's on a curve, let me just try out to see what this actual curve looks like. Maybe something like that. Yeah, that looks quite nice down there. Oh, don't freeform. And let me switch that to black, and then put it right behind all of the eye. Yeah, that looks good to me. Hopefully you guys agree. And yes, maybe it needs to be a little bit freeform so it's got less of a thingy. What I don't like is how it sort of pixelates, if you can see that. But yeah, okay, alright, we'll run with that for a minute. I might have to readjust some of these eyes bits as we go along, but okay, so now we want to work these sort of diagonal lines going through up to the thingy. And I'm trying to look for a way where I can do both of them without sort of... Basically, I don't want to take up a million layers just to do this sort of little bit, because it's not essential. Oh, maybe that looks quite good. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? I think that's alright. And it's only taking one layer as well. Obviously it looks a bit weird like that, and I will be putting some shines onto the helmet just so it brings out the sort of metallic looks. But now I want something quite angular, not curvy, to do these sort of diagonal lines going up to the side, because it'll reinforce the sort of robotic look. What's this? Let me try this out. Sorry, I am freeballing here as well. I haven't fully created this design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 copies of here, make the back one black, and make the top one the same grey that we're using that. And we're going to drag them behind everything. Yeah, even behind that line as well. Okay, cool. Alright, sweet. So, now you want to bring out this sort of over here. And does that look alright? Just sort of jiggle it around, because you do want it to match up. I think that looks alright-ish. I've definitely got to do something about that top though, so let's have a look where that comes down. Hang on. So yep, alright, cool. I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to replicate this And I'm going to freeform it a bit over here because... Hang on, wait, I need to think about this. How is this going to work? Okay. Yeah, because you got to remember, because he's looking slightly to the side, the angles are going to be slightly off. So, okay, let me try this out. I might need to freeform it a bit when we go in there. So, same as before, we want to drag both these layers behind everything. We want to drag them behind here as well. I'm not sure whether this is going to work. I think this rectangle bit might be a bit too wide for it. So, like this... Yeah, see how this rectangle... Oh wait, let me make this one blue just so I can see what I'm doing. And I want to make it thinner by freeforming it, but keep the angle right, if that makes sense. Obviously there's going to be some excess now, but hopefully when we take this away, it see, this is sort of process that I have to go through when I'm making an emblem. It's sort of a lot of trial and error and that sort of thing. No, that won't work, will it? Let me think about this. Alright, I got it. Right, do you know how I just thin out all this? Right, let me delete all of these because... Yeah. Okay, let me make this a purple just for the time being. And you want to free scale it, but you just want to make it thinner. Okay, and with any luck, this should work a little bit better now. So return it. I've just turned it purple just so you could see what I was doing better. And now if we go to this one and make this one black. Get this one out of the way just for a second. Why isn't... Oh, it should be over like that. Apparently at one point I switched that over. I don't know when. Okay, so make sure you don't press select and do what I just did. Okay, now with any luck that should be thin enough now, so you can flip it over and it won't get in the way over here. Nice. Creative problem solving, guys, is what emblem making is all about. And we'll flip this over, make it a grey one, put it in front, put it in front. There we go, and then pull it slightly in the same direction. And nothing's overlapping or anything like that. And sweet. Alright. So now we just got we've got a problem that we've got those sort of overlaps over there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a circle and then, or maybe even a semicircle. Yeah, screw it, semicircle. And I'm gonna freeform it out just so it's hiding all of that sort of excess. Make sure it doesn't go too low, you just want to sort of cover what's not necessary. Sorry if I'm going a bit quiet as well, I'm just trying to get this right. Do you know what, this isn't working, so I need to switch it to a full circle. Okay, complement the grey, and then drag it behind the old high, because you don't want to shave off all of those bits. yes, that was someone coming online on Skype, if you heard that. Okay, cool. So that's alright, and we've still got 12 layers left over to make the rest of it. And what I think I'll do is I'll put a bit of lighting effects on the helmet. So what we'll do is we'll come over, we'll get this little guy over here, and we'll put maybe a central shine over there. These have sort of two qualities in the fact that they're going to do two things. One, they're going to reinforce the sort of the circular shape of the helmet. Shall we go one there? Yeah, and we'll go one with that top side where our lighting source was, where we said before. We'll go for this thicker one. I think that one will look better. Yeah, it'll do two things really. It will reinforce the shape of the helmet, so the more sort of circular side like that. How's that? We will reduce the opacity, or fuck it, I can't pronounce that word. And yeah, we'll just bring it down there, so it's not like a purist of whites. I might make that a little bit taller as well, so it's more of a sort of line like that. Bring it a little bit lower. Yeah, 80% roughly. Cool. And obviously to counteract that, we need a bit of shadow as well. So what I think I'll do is let me just see if this looks good. By the way, I realise I cut myself off mid-sentence then, but I cannot remember what I was saying, so I'm just going to let that one go. Okay, so let's switch this to this dark grey. And then we're going to opaque this right the way down. Maybe cut off that little corner. I want to sort of get it a little bit across the eye as well. I think that'll look good. And okay, so let's drop the opacity right down on this. 45 look alright. I'm gonna maybe reshape the circle just a little bit. To be honest, it doesn't really matter if it spills over the bottom too much, because if we put the shoulders down or whatever on the mask, which I presume we are gonna do, well, we are, yeah, we will. It might just make that look a bit more tidier down there, so don't want it to spill too high though, so still keep it in there as much as possible. I just want to try and get a little bit in the eye, because I think that'll look quite good. And alright, that's not looking too bad as well. I'm half tempted to do a version of this where the mask's open so you can see the face, but I'm not going to do that now. I almost feel like I want one more shine up there as well, but I've got 10 layers left, and I don't know, we'll see, because if I can put a little bit of his chest or sword in there as well, that would be quite cool. Maybe even some blood splatters around or something. Okay, so let's use this. Protect kill. Use flat jacket to survive a claymore. And what colour? He's blue mainly, isn't he? And then he's got red shoulders, yeah. Unfortunately, the colour palette doesn't allow for like those sort of the true colours, so we're gonna have to go a bit cartoony in the chest. How does that look? Not really too happy with that. Does it have any sort of... Oh, maybe actually. Alright, let's go there, just for the time being. And that shadow is sort of drawing out a little bit. So let's just wiggle this shadow around a little bit, just so it's not going too much out of those sort of lines. Okay, cool. And that little white bit as well needs to be filled in the neck. I think what we'll do there is actually we'll put this behind the actual blue mask, the blue flat jacket thing, and we'll make it a darker blue. Yeah, and that way it sort of replicates your shadow. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. Those shoulders need to be dealt with though as well. And it is a really big solid colour, that blue as well, isn't it? So let's do something there. Okay, so on the shadow side we're going to want something quite angular to sort of do a sort of shoulder pad type thing. So let me just scroll through some of these, see if I can find anything that looks like it might fit. So we're just looking for a sort of, maybe a bit of a plate shape. Let's see, remember you got the freeform fact as well, so this is obviously going to be a blue. So if I freeform this out and like switch it up like that, see what this looks like. No, I don't really like that. Oh fuck, delete you bastard. Ranks maybe? Nah. I'll tell you what, actually, maybe a handle from this gun. If I can launch that out, extend it out a little bit, make it the reds. Yeah, I'll tell you what, this actually don't look too bad. Okay. And you know what, I think I was a bit overzealous on how much I drawn that out, so we still want it to look a bit like a shoulder. Actually, and that complements that angle quite nicely. Okay, sweet. There's there, and maybe I can do a really tiny little thing over here. I feel like that might be a waste of a layer, but oh well. I suppose you could drag everything over if you really wanted. But for the time being, I'm gonna see what this just looks like there. Okay, cool. Alright, Cyborg Ninja, you aren't looking too shabby. I want to put some more detail on this chest though, because that is driving me nuts. I hate those solid colours. And I'll tell you what we'll do is, I keep forgetting I've got that white background as well. Let's get this, the ballistic knife. So all you got to do to get this is just unlock the ballistic knife. And maybe do some sort of sword type thing like that. Maybe? I don't know what you guys are thinking about this. I'm not completely sold on this whole sword spiel. I don't know. Let's do like a little blade down there or something. Maybe we'll do 2 layers. We'll make the bottom layer black and then bring it out like that. Maybe shrink it down so it's not as overt. And then put maybe a bit of blood splatter on there. There are loads of blood splatters, I just haven't unlocked them all yet, but I've got this one. So let's extend that out, run it down there. Obviously I'm just trying out ideas now, I'm not sure, I've got a few layers free. Do blood splatter on the helmet? Nah, I don't like that. So blood splatter on the sword. I'm going to leave that like that just for the time being. I'm not really sold on it, and you guys might agree, but I'm just going to leave it like it for now. I do want to put a bit of detail on the chest. Sorry, I'm just having a little look around, see whether I can find anything. I want sort of like data-y lines, so I'm looking for quite maybe parallel concentric lines. I wonder what this will look like. What happens? What direction does that extend out in? Okay, what happens if I make that make that black and drop the opacity down? %75%. I'm not sure. I'm a bit torn on this whole sort of chest type thing. But this is a good starting point for you guys to really make your own sort of emblem and like take it and do your own thing with it. I'll put this behind the sword, obviously. I'm going to switch it to outline by pressing start. Black, and then drop the opacity down again. Not bad, not bad. It's some design work in there. Remember, we had like, what layers are these? These are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and obviously plus the white layer that we're going to remove in a second to get this right. And is there anything else I can think of that might be necessary towards this? That blood splatter is annoying me. Actually, I'll tell you what. Does that... Oh, that's cool. There is a lot you can do with this, and it is just a general start. I want you guys to really take this emblem and do your own sort of thing with it. Okay, so let me go get rid of this white background and quickly... Actually, do you know what? I had just an idea to do with that. Oh, what's this on? This fisty thing. Let's anyway. First things first, sorry, I'll just make it, increase that arrow angle just a little bit. And then it'll be like these muscles coming from the back of the neck. And we'll switch that to the darkest blue. Okay, right, well I think the mask looks the best section of that. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you think of this format as well, because this is me just exploring, playing around with making this sort of thing. And yeah, I'd really be interested to see what you guys think about this whole thing. Hopefully you guys can follow this quite well, and if you want to make it, obviously, the tutorial's here. Anyway guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Drop a like, fave, sub, whatever. And yeah, I'll speak to you in the future. Bye bye.
Canine unit awaiting orders. Friendly canine unit in your AO. Friendly light